Is this live? This should be good to go. Hey guys, just let me know if everything pops up okay. I was in a bit of a rush to get this started. Right, some people should jump in. I just need to post this up. There has been some major strikes go on right now as we speak into Israel. Wait, I'm just posting up in the Telegram so people come across. Some people have said there's some 50 missiles at the moment going in. Let me just get everything up and ready. I've just clicked live before I've actually fully looked into everything. AMK, I know, is sharing everything at the moment. Right, hey guys, so if you're coming in, guys, just make sure hit the like, drop something in the chat because, of course, it's hard to reach everyone straight away when you stop and start the lives. So there has been, over the past few minutes, fires in Tel Aviv. You can see like AMK mapping sharing this here. So people have said that there's some barrages of up to 50 missiles going. The hospital in Beersheba has been directly impacted as well. So that's the hospital. I posted a meme in my... I just finished filming. I literally just finished filming an actual video. And then I posted just a meme in my Telegram and everyone got stuck into me about go live, go live, go live. Look, there is some things I cannot show you, but there has been direct impacts on multiple areas. This is Tel Aviv at the moment too. So, yeah, the only thing is I can only be live for about an hour. That's it. I need to go see my oncologist. Maybe if things really kick off, I can probably ring and maybe do it over the phone. I could try that. I will see how that works. So I'm just going to click back onto my face just so I can have a scroll because things like hospitals have been hit. Obviously, I don't want to share some of the footage coming out of that as it may be then sensitive. So guys, we're at 540 viewers, but 100 likes. Get that going up. So there is a missile barrage happening right now. There has been buildings collapse in Tel Aviv. Right, so just trying to confirm whatever we get at the moment, guys. So this is the most recent barrage here. This is from OzInt 613, Dare the Machine, an hour of power analysis. Yeah, it will be an hour of power. Plus, I literally just had a white monster. So not only have I got a lot of energy, but I'm going to need to piss about 30 times during this. So you can see many interceptors in the air and interceptions, but it gives you an idea just how large the attack that just went down was. And in the coming minutes, we will get a better idea of the actual battle damage that occurred. So, yeah, you can see just the sheer amount that actually went on. Urubus Soldat says, go to the doc, don't make your health worse for us. It's definitely not going to make my health worse. It's just if things really start kicking off, I've got to go for a couple of hours to the doctor. Not just any doctor, bloody oncology. Sturm says, why the boomer juice tastes horrible. No, mate, White Monster is where it's at. So you can see that there has been direct impacts. Is this Beersheba or Tel Aviv? A Negev area. So there has been buildings brought down as well. So it does seem the idea that the Iranians cannot get away multiple missiles, that's sort of out of the water. The TELs have been destroyed, so we'll see a lot more. Could a nurse step in while you're with the doctor? Yeah, imagine that. Just like, hey, just go live on this for a minute. So building collapsed in Tel Aviv. So we have multiple fires. So there has been direct impacts too. Remember, as I've been saying, every time Iran fires mass barrages in, each time the air defense is going to get a little little bit weaker or not as easily to be replaced. We have seen, I think it was the SJW, also known as the Wall Street Journal, did say that there will be a real lack of air defense missiles, and therefore we'll start seeing a lot more get through. I'm just trying to find and see if there is anything else on other Twitter pages first. Right. I literally just finished filming a video regarding situations around Fordow nuclear facility. So I'll be doing that tonight. I'll be releasing that tonight. Hospitals hit Israel. Yeah, I know. We've been sharing bits and pieces of this. I'm just on my face at the moment purely because there's bits and pieces I can't stream. Honna says you should stream with Syrian girl. She is in Australia. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a follower. Thank you, Honest. So some have said this is pediatric. I've actually been to this hospital before in Beersheba. I've actually been in that hospital following just after October 7 when I was there. Again, Israel putting out, do not film rockets, do not film impacts. So again, every time we see these large barrages like this, we do see the IDF pushing again and again to not film anything. Don't want to give battle damage assessments. Don't want it to be used as propaganda. So yeah, ballistic missile fired has hit the hospital in Beersheba. So yeah, there are multiple impacts. Apparently in Jerusalem as well. So this is one thing we did speak about, is firing a lot of your Frankenstuds with just a cement warhead in it to tie up air defense, and then you start hitting out more ballistics. Flowmaster, did anything crazy happen tonight? No. Well, there was many different missiles fired into Israel. A hospital hit, building, apparently a multi-story building has come down in Tel Aviv. So we're still tracking this as well as we can. So occasionally if you see, I'll just click back onto my face so I can scroll through and have a look in case I show anything, because things can be quite graphic. Remember, Legends, we have 1,400 people viewing but 200 likes. Remember those likes, they don't cost you anything, but they help me move up the algorithm because I have to stop and start the stream. So there's still sirens for drones, and there hasn't been given an all clear yet. Sturmy says, do you think we'll see US strikes very soon? I do believe that we will. I don't see how the US can't strike, to be honest. I don't see any other way to get rid of those facilities. I'm going to talk about specifically that tonight with Fordow nuclear facility, and talk about where the US sort of has its hands tied in this. But also we'll speak about the political fallout of some of that as well. So we're just trying to get everything together. In a minute, I'll be just putting together footage as well. Additional footage from... Okay, so I can't show you inside the Sroka hospital that has been hit in Beersheba. But there is some footage coming out of multi-story buildings too that have been completely damaged in Tel Aviv by ballistics too. So another very large-scale attack has occurred. Right. So still following. Remember, any footage I will endeavour to then push that across so you guys can see that as well. I will be downloading some footage and sharing that off my Google Drive too. I just need to watch it on my phone. If you see me looking down and across, that is specifically what I'm watching, not just ignoring you. So Alex says, is this strike a direct hit or accidental. Well, it's a direct hit. So it's a direct hit on the hospital, like the missile direct hit. Was it on accident or was it targeted at that? You don't know, I guess. We don't know how accurate these weapons are. We also don't know the exact ins and outs of actually targeting them. Does Iran want to cause Israel at this point as much hurt as possible? Yes. But again, that's up for discussion of whether it was a direct hit or accident at this point in time. Of course, many will say that it was on purpose. So, yeah, we know that there wants to be as much hurt as possible. So it makes me think that it wasn't an accident. But again, we're not sure. So this is some footage here. I believe this is in Tel Aviv. Just let me double check the source of this. I know who the source was, but it actually doesn't say. But this is some of the air defense active in some of the Israeli cities at the moment. You can just see the sheer amount that has been up in the sky. If Iran had tactical nuclear weapons, is now the time? No. If you were Iran and you had tactical nuclear weapons, that's one, there's no such thing as tactical nuclear weapons. If you were Iran and had nuclear weapons, you would wait probably another week or two, probably another week, to severely degrade the air defense more, as per Wall Street Journal said that Israel has, say, another 10 days of air defense, and that's the point of which you'd fire it in. First daylight attack. That is very true also. Someone said, what did I miss? There's been significant strikes against Beersheba and Tel Aviv, with a hospital being struck in Beersheba. Guys, we have 2,000 people in the thing and 500 likes. Remember, costs you nothing but helps me a lot. I'm just going to go into open source intel. Someone said that there was some more footage of this now coming out from in the hospital. Can't find it at the moment. Let me continue and have a look. So just on my head for a minute, just while trying to find this. So I've got to review the footage before I actually then show you it, of course. So let me watch this footage first. Okay, so I'll just show you on a screenshot of the footage here. I want to pause. This is inside the footage, inside the Soroka Medical Center in Beersheba in southern Israel. This is a major hospital. I've been in this hospital. This is a very, very large hospital as well. I was in here after, of course, a number of people were injured after attacks early on in October 23. And yeah, this is a very, very large hospital that has taken a direct impact. Now, the hospitals are very reinforced in Israel, but still, a direct ballistic impact will do significant damage. Just on another page now, trying to find if there's any further footage in here. This is the footage that I was speaking of before. You can see damage to this multi-story high-rise building here where there has been an impact as well. There's definitely been major impacts in Tel Aviv as well. See a lot of people out and about as well. So it has been a significant strike, and to be fair, probably the most that have got through. Nakas Pop says, if Iran doesn't have conventional nuke, do you think they'll fire dirty bombs? There's a potential of it, mate, if things get really, really desperate for the regime. Sorry, I just had to... just had to write something to a friend. Alex says Iran seems shoved into a corner. What does it mean? They still act defensively. Do they have an ace, or is this just stubborn? Mate, I don't know. Potentially they have an ace. We don't know. The ace may just be the amount of missiles they may have, or if they do know that they've got some sort of weapon of mass destruction. But the further you get backed into a corner, the more desperate that you will be. And this is what we spoke of around you bombing of more civilian areas, bombing oil facilities, economic areas, and potential for dirtier munitions too. Alan M says the Ayatollah's been personally calling Israeli phones, telling people to stay exactly where they are. I don't think he's been saying that. Martin MDL says, should we be concerned about false flag events? Always. In any war like this where, the US is needed to break through facilities, absolutely. So I'm just looking at a bit more footage here, just trying to get a better idea we'll get a better idea of the actual damage to the hospital. Now, of course, the Israeli defense is saying, do not take any videos of this, but you're going to get a lot of footage of this. The closest we have at the moment is this. This is the direct impact on the hospital. So still waiting on what the exact outcome of this is. But remember, give it a little bit and we'll have a better idea. There's multiple impacts. There's been several impacts throughout Israel. Right, so I'm still trying to just monitor, guys. Road Gunfighter, good to see you, brother. Thanks for everything. Thank you, Road Gunfighter, mate. I appreciate the super chat donation, man. Thank you. That really helps. Right. So I just finished up. The reason I was offline was I was making a video regarding possible special forces raids on nuclear sites, working with a number of contacts as well about is that realistic to have SF raids on this? So that's the video coming tonight, but that means I was offline for an hour or so, and then this has just occurred. Right, we're just trying to get a better idea. I'm just going to scroll Telegram and just get a better idea and see if anything else has come up. Yeah, the Soroka Hospital in Beersheba has taken fairly significant damage. It is, of course, a very reinforced building. Absolutely it is. But it does appear to have sustained significant damage. So we'll keep an eye on what is happening. Honus, thank you for your donation. Now that resources are tied up, will Ukraine fall apart quickly? No, Ukraine at the end of the day is still a ground war. The thing that will fall apart in Ukraine, there's two big effects on Ukraine, is firstly air defense, that as Israeli air defense, being David's Sling and American, but THAAD gets used up, we will see move across onto more American systems that are already short. Therefore, Ukraine will have limited air defense. We've already seen that. The 20,000 rockets that were meant to go to Zelensky went to Israel instead. So we'll see more success as per the attack we saw in Ukraine the other night with more hits. And oil price for Russia. Knockers Pop, thank you for becoming a Mini Willy member. And Chris Elliott says, well, the IDF hits hospitals all the time. They can't complain. Thank you, Chris. So many people have said very similar to this after the bombing of things like the Indonesian hospital in Gaza as well, claimed that there was military targets of tunnels that went in and out of those hospitals. So again, yes, there's a ban on footage coming out of here, but we do get the footage sooner or later. Or sooner rather than later. Remember, you've got cities of 10 million people, 10 million, 4 million people. You're going to get people on their phones. So you can get an idea of the damage to the hospital here, that you can see a number of people in scrubs out like this, where it has really ripped apart many areas of the hospital. Honus, thank you for becoming a Mega Willy, mate. You've been the top donor. Remember, you do not have to donate, guys. I do this anyway, but it is greatly appreciated. Remember, guys, it's been only 1/3 of you have actually liked the video. So remember, that helps me. I appreciate the people donating. Thank you very much. But all you need to do is like the video, and that's more than enough, guys. That helps me out a lot. So if we can get up to, we have 2,400 viewers and 800 likes. It's just little thumbs up at the bottom or right. So it's each THAAD missile is 12 million. Yeah, I believe each THAAD's more like $12.8 million a hit. Initial reports, 30 injuries after the strikes. That will rise. Even down to the hospital being evacuated if you're in surgery or something. That's not good. Hospitals should never be targeted under any circumstance. Alex Price, thank you, says, what are the optics on this? Is Israel capable of defending airspace? If they are, how did this hit the hospital? If it hit, does that mean Israeli airspace is weakening? Is this an optic manipulation? Well, the optics will be taken however the optics are taken and pushed through propaganda streams. But yeah, it does not look good for the confidence in people of the airspace, of going, hey, one of the most protected areas as a hospital has been hit. And people will go, we understand that it should never be targeted and it's a war crime to target it. We understand that. Targeting hospitals is a war crime. Yes, I know. But people will go, things are getting through the airspace, and is the Israeli airspace and air defense weakening? Yes. Well, it is getting closer to weakening. We don't know if there's been massive holes yet, but we do know after, say, 10 or more days, by the estimates we've seen, is there will be shortages, therefore rationing in air defense weapons. And that is what I've spoken about. Israel need to win where Iran just more need to survive. Well, shit. Rogue Gunfighter says Iran is proof that BRICS can't touch American equipment. That's not proof at all of that. BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South America. The I in that is India. Trust me, Russia, India, China, if they wanted to, one, BRICS is an economic alliance, but they can touch equipment. Alan M., is it more exciting streaming or making videos? Streaming is probably more exciting, if that makes sense. It's easier. Shane says, down from Florida, my internet just went down. Cheers for Florida. Thank you, Shane. Sturmy said, will the US move ISR from Ukraine to Israel? Not really, because realistically all around Europe is pretty close, but there may be less ISR equipment on station for Ukraine. So the amount of satellite imagery, Poseidons, everything like that Israel may be used to, and just attention from intelligence and surveillance centers too. Remember that all the CIA, all the intel, everything was just all focused at Ukraine, and now it needs to be split between two different AOs or areas of operation. So apparently we've got a video of the impact on the hospital. But yes, there should be concern, and civilians will be concerned of, hey, more missiles are starting to get through. But the IDF did warn that this is going to be long and bloody. So this is a moment of impact on the hospital. And should trade Shaheed for Iskanders. Honus, Russia does not buy Shaheed. They bought the licensing to make analogs of Shahed, and now that's a completely domestic-made weapon system, so there's no trade there for Iskander. The problem anyway with that is the targeting of the launching platforms themselves. Aussie Patriot says, according to Israeli Channel 13, Ichilov Hospital doubles as a concealed military facilities complete with subterranean command center. I don't know, man. Yeah. So this is apparently the impact on the Soroka Hospital. But what I will say is no hospital should ever be targeted, but nor should any hospital be used for military means. But if there are military members in a hospital, they are non-combatants at that point too. You can't bomb military hospitals either. So you can see a direct impact on that hospital. Mike Fry, thank you for the donation. Guys, lots of donations. Remember, if you'd like to make one, the best way is actually the PayPal link at the top, because YouTube takes 30 or 40% of everything else. All right, I'm just trying to get an idea. Downtown Tel Aviv has had direct strikes as well, even with an informational blackout. Fatty McVladdy says, is the US going to be involved in the conflict? The US is already involved. You're probably meaning, will the US provide kinetic support as far as bombing? I believe at this point, yes. Sorry, I just have to reply to something. Zeno says, my daughter is wrapped her chemo treatment for next month. Wife and I send prayers for your health and a lot of love. Thoughts on how all this is going to impact the Japanese carry trade, unwind triggered by oil price spike? Mate, we will see probably oil prices skyrocket. But look, the best news here is that your daughter is wrapping up her chemo treatment next month. So, mate, I think everyone in the chat is sending prayers and love your way for your daughter's fight against the Big C. Lusty Boy says, China's winning big here. A lot of air defense, the Pacific won't be getting that it will desperately need when they finally make their move. I don't think they're going to make their move, but potentially, yes, there's going to be a lot of moved out. Andrew Wilson has said, he says in a donation, I think that Israel's hiding bombs under the hospital, getting to the claims that we have seen previously around other hospitals that have been hit. Mesoliptic says, I don't stand for either side. I just feel sorry for the civilians on both sides that have nothing to do with this war. I just want them to live out their lives. Meza, mate, I'm on the side of that too. We can't have an inequality of compassion. Civilians are just civilians. Right. Sorry, I just have to reply for something I'm doing, another meeting that I've got on. So Zeno, mate, I'm super stoked for your daughter finishing her chemotherapy. What a battler. Mike Fry, I've been watching since the fall of Avdiivka. What do you make of the F-22s headed to the Middle East? Nah, I'm not surprised at all by a lot of aircraft moving around, because I believe America's going to drop weapons. They're better off being prepared and not doing it than being ill-prepared and then having to do it. What is that? So this is you can see this is apparently the size of one of these. So after intercepting ballistic missiles, the debris that can fall can be devastating. A huge intercepted fragment fell at the entrance city of the aerial at Samaria. So this seems like the booster maybe for a ballistic missile. You can just see how bloody big that is. They're absolutely massive. If that is what it is. I believe that's what it is. So yeah, absolute chaos inside that hospital after it was hit. Just a warning to Jack. You're about to be banned if you post it again. Righto. Jack, you are off. Again, anyone can have their say, but not just spamming just anything. Right, let's have a look, see what else is coming out. So I'm sure soon we'll start getting more footage. Remember, you can have your say, but you can't just spam. You ruin it for everyone. New footage, Central City, big hit. Okay, where are you seeing that? SW Barb 1. Yep, I'm on my face. Just want to have a look here. Wow, okay. This is the hospital that has been hit. Right here, that's got absolutely hammered. As you can see, these are very heavily built. You can see the cement structure on the top, but you can see massive amounts of damage. Edgar, you're about to be banned as well. Again, you can say what you want. I'll ban equally, whether it's spam one way or another. Don't care. If you're spamming Iranian stuff or Israeli stuff, if you're spamming, you'll be out. Trust me, the chat's fast enough. I don't need just spam crap. So this is impacts in Tel Aviv. Right, let me have a look. But there are definitely some big hits. If there's any footage I'm missing that I haven't shown, that I can show, please let me know and I'll endeavour to see the comment and then show you myself. Honest has sent you a DM. Check video if is accurate. Okay, Honest, thank you. All right, let's just have a look. Honest, what did you send it on, mate? What platform? I've got about 30 platforms going. Sorry, I've got so much going on at the moment. Remember, guys, yeah, we have double the viewers that we do, more than double that we do to likes. So remember, hit like. That helps me out. It helps push us up the streaming algorithm too. It helps me out a lot. As well, Anton Leimbach says, my son is in the Oman Navy. My son is in Oman with the Navy. We all want him safe home. Yes, we want your son safe home as well. We want everyone's son home safe. So here we go. Open source int is saying some of the first images of targeting the Arak heavy water facility in Iran by the Israeli Air Force. So Israeli Air Force targeting heavy water facilities in Iran too. So a lot of strikes going both ways. Still, realistically, the strikes have been a lot less in these couple of days than I thought they would be. If you asked me before this happened, do I believe it would be larger than this? I would have said yes. Anyone saying it is a military hospital, it doesn't matter if it's military or not. It is still protected. Right, more footage is coming out of some of the strikes. I just need to watch it first. Avork, thank you for becoming Mini Willie. In Tel Aviv, okay, there are buildings that are completely down too. So yes, something that is very interesting that someone pointed out is that this is the first daytime Iranian attack. This happened in full light. So they are trying to get this seen too, eyes on that this is happening, right? Right, this is in central Israel, a building that has been struck with significant damage here. So you can see where it has struck right down through too. As from my experience, because I've been in the Soroka hospital, it's a typical civilian hospital that can treat military members. But the thing is, if you're a military member who has been wounded and you go to hospital, the hospital's still protected. You are still protected. You are a non-combatant at that point. Anus says, try backstabbed his entire base for Israel. Really thought it'd be different. Guess he doesn't really care. He doesn't needs red. I'm guessing what Anus tried to say. Thank you for the donation. Says Trump backstabbed his base. Thought it'd be different, but doesn't need it because he doesn't need red. Remember, politics change, but foreign policy remains awfully the same. To quote Mearsheimer, regards who you vote for, you'll end up with BB. Fatty McLavdy says, do you think there will be a war happening on foot between Israel and Iran anytime soon? No. These strikes keep coming, but feels like there is no winner. I highly doubt that we can have a winner without ground operations, but I don't think ground operations are capable by either side at this point in time. And ground operations don't lend as much to technological advantage. What Israel has on Iran is technological advantage, not population advantage. And Iran is, what, almost 10 times the population? Not that tech advantage doesn't matter. I'm not trying to say that, but I'm saying in ground war, numbers play a larger role than in a missile war like this too. Thank you, Nash Supplies, on the PayPal, brother. Appreciate that. Will China help more? No. China, in my opinion, China's number one goal and the way that they rise to power is not getting entangled in things that are very expensive. I think that is China's whole thing, is if we don't get entangled in something, if we stay out of all this and don't get entangled in this, we rise while everyone else loses power. While the US is tangled up here, while Russia is tangled up there, while India is tangled up in Pakistan, China just keeps on its way, and that is their way, I believe, to becoming a regional hegemon. Karl Petrovic says, ex-EOD, g'day, mate, and says, Stephanie, Carl does think you're hot. And Stephanie, yeah, Carl does think that you are smoking. That was that meme I showed the other day, which is, many a true word spoken in jest, of it was the Giga Chad face with Xi Jinping on it that just said, do nothing, win. And that is a lot of China, is just to not get tangled up in stuff. Because as I've said, while Europe and America use all their munitions, while Russia used a lot of their munitions, who has the largest industrial capacity in the world and a growing economy who's not spending any of that? Right, guys, we're still less than half the likes to viewers. Just thumbs up. It helps us. Helps us. Someone said China's 5,000 years old. Yeah, and the strategic patience is China's biggest value. The biggest value China has is strategic patience, which we do not have. So we're seeing right now, this is the Chinese British aircraft carrier called Queen Elizabeth passing through the Suez Canal. Shit's going down, guys. Queen Elizabeth moving into the AO. You can see choppers and F-35Bs on board. You can tell it's Queen Elizabeth because it has like 2 bridges in case one gets taken down or one fails. Lukewarm says, I'm here, you can start now. Well, if you have missed up to this point, there has been major Iranian missile barrages in the direction of Israel that have struck a hospital in Beersheba and multiple high-rise buildings in Tel Aviv. Thank you, Harry Cook, again on the PayPal, mate. I appreciate that. What else is happening? Let's have another message. Fatty McVladdy says Ukraine collapsed earlier because of this conflict. The biggest effect on Ukraine is going to be slow. It'll be limited air defense, and it will be more Russian money because of oil. But that'll be the primary ones. So I'm just going to click back on my face and have a bit of a scroll and see what is and is not moving around. Those wondering, I know there's 3,000 of you here listening. I have to go to the oncologist in about 30 minutes at the latest is when I can actually leave. So we have aircraft carriers moving through the Suez Canal, major strikes, and everyone trying to bring America into the war. Brent crude oil hasn't taken a hit. No, it's just moving $60, $76.6. I haven't actually yet taken a look yet at the stock markets and seen what they are moving around like. I'm pretty sure the market was red today for memory. Let me have a look. I'll check that on my phone. Odds of World War III, realistically pretty low. The countries involved are no major players. Someone said Brits. Yes, the Brits are moving through the Suez. Ah, shit. Lancer, British Petroleum wants its oil fields back. There's a lot of oil in this part of the world. Right. Some of these are absolutely massive, these missiles that have been hit. I'm just going to show you, just wait 1 sec. I've got to bring it up on my Google Drive. It is the pump for the propulsion or something on it. A lot more footage available. Right, I'll bring that up in a sec. I just want to show you the size of some of these things that have been hit. I'm just going to click back on my head while I bring this up. Oh, did that upload? Oh, shit. So according to Pages, this is the Iranian ballistic missile, parts of a turbo pump and propellant tanks found in Israel fallen on the front of a, I don't know what sort of car that is. Is it a Tesla? There's a Tesla next to it. But you can just see the size of some of these guys. These are very, very big munitions that are striking. We showed you the size of the tank before that was intercepted, and now you can see this. So, of course, this will sit in a shroud, but this looks like where it would actually fire out of, and that this will be kept in a shroud. Someone will be able to break down that and tell us exactly what that actually is. Someone said, question, Willie, if the United States decide to strike, do you believe that it will all-out air campaign like Desert Storm or a limited strike? I believe that there will be a limited strike. I think if the US do, it will be limited. I think it will be against those facilities. But what I don't see is I don't see how they can't then have further strikes following that. So this is in Holon, in a suburb of Tel Aviv. So apparently the missile on the hospital, one of them hit in the courtyard of the pediatric ward. Mason says, not related, but Starship blew up in static testing for the next flight about 45 minutes ago. Big explosion. Doesn't seem like they're having that much success with the old Starship at the moment, from what I'm seeing. So where is this? Air defense work in Tel Aviv, with launches within Tel Aviv, and Iranian re-entry vehicle impact. So this is Tel Aviv at the moment, and then you can see an impact as well. We'll just wait on this, and then you can see where the then launches are going out of from the air defense launches. So let me play this then through. So you can see how much air AD is actually going up, absolutely everywhere. Thing is, from footage like this, and you can see the impact down beneath here, you can see how easy then it would be to actually geolocate this stuff. So this is why that Israel doesn't want photos and videos. Because look at this right there. How easy would it be in 5 minutes to get a geolocation exactly of where that launcher is? Then again, with the internet, you cannot stop this happening. Thank you, Philip, for saying good work on PayPal. Thank you, bro. So 100 civilians apparently have been wounded in these attacks. I'm sure that will skyrocket. Right, let me have a quick look again. See what else is being uploaded, guys. Just be patient for a sec. So then this is what Mr. AMK Mapping is saying. Guys, remember we have 1,800 likes and 3,120 viewers. If you're new here, just click the thumbs up at the bottom left or bottom right. Doesn't mean anything to you, but it helps me out a lot. He says, according to very rough and initial triangulation, I did have the 2 point of views. Alan says Iran turned off the internet. I believe Iran is limiting some internet in some places, as well as cyber attacks from Israel into the internet. Location of the Iranian ballistic missile impact on Soroka Hospital in Beersheba appears to be in the courtyard between the Northern Surgery Ward and Internal Medicine wards and the Saban Pediatric Outpatient Centre. It doesn't look as if the building was directly hit. However, the damage to the surrounding buildings will be major. There are some areas that do look like at least some of the facade was hit, but we will see. We'll get more imagery come out. But again, things like this that you've hit in here, like the surgery wards, etc., and things have to be evacuated, that can cause massive casualties and deaths just from hitting those areas. We're 50 likes away from 2,000, guys. So this is in the entryway of the hospital. I actually remember this because I spent a bit of time in this hospital. That's not the entry, that's the middle. As you see, this is the entry as it turns back to the right here through there. That's the entry doors into like the big foyer. So there is major damage in the roof here. A lot of this is from overpressure blast as well. So Minister of National Security has said the Nazis who launched missiles at hospitals at the elderly and at children, if they had atomic weapons, they would fire them without a second thought. This is the most campaign that Israel has ever embarked on, most just campaign that Israel's ever embarked on. So what do you think of the National Security Minister's comments here? You can let me know in the comments. And as well, this is that British aircraft carrier moving through the Suez. Thing is, major damage to the hospital like that is it's not going to be back in action for a long time. And I know that hospital does treat many areas close to there too. Right, thank you for hitting 2,000 likes. That's awesome. Right, just going to have a scroll, see what else is moving around, guys. So yes, huge amounts going on. Just having a look, see if there's any other footage yet that I'm yet to show. Alonso says, what did I miss? Did we drop a mass ordnance penetrator yet? No. What you've missed is very large Iranian strikes into Tel Aviv and Beersheba with some direct impacts also. Fatty McVladdy says Nazis, they fired the first missile. I'm wrong. No, they did fire the first missile, but still no one is allowed. You cannot bomb hospitals, regardless of who it is. But also you cannot have military targets inside of hospitals also. So I know that there's reports of, 100 injured, no deaths. Wait on that, of course. There'll still be chaos, people buried, all sorts of stuff. Horrible, horrible things when missiles or artillery or mortars are used in urban areas. A lot of people underestimate just how powerful bombs actually are and the overpressure that it causes. Alex Price, I'm worried about the optics. This was the only time that strike wasn't taken down by the dome. Thanks, Alex. Mate, it's definitely not the only time the strike wasn't taken down by the dome. There's been plenty of strikes over the past few days get through Israeli air defense. But again, it doesn't instill the population with confidence about the Iron Dome. With more and more Iron Dome, about air defenses. Iron Dome is only part of the air defense. Actually, against Iranian strikes, not very used air defense. It can't intercept ballistics. It's more for slow-moving things and drones. But again, yes. Thelma Thiao says, so many falling for the goodies versus baddies narratives, only baddies when it comes to regimes on both sides. Pray for peace. I agree, Thelma, that, as I say, civilians are always civilians, but they will always, everyone will try and do a good versus bad narrative as well, because that helps, of course, with optics, what drive politics, what drives war. Right. Let's keep looking and see what is shifting around. Remember, a lot of the time I just scroll while I'm on my face. I'm just having a look and see what I can and can't show you. LT Rotsky says the CEP for Iran's ballistics is 2.5 kilometers, no intent. So he's saying that the actual accuracy is within 2.5 kilometers, no intent. Again, we don't know about that. I don't know if this was intentional or not. And then Conan Librarian says, I keep hearing that they choose what to intercept, and I'm curious if they are being in a position where they need to decide something like intercept military target or intercept civilian target. Look, this is going to happen. There will be at some point a rationing and triage of air defense, and there already is rationing and triage of air defense. For example, air defense will not intercept something if it is going to impact in a open area, and in some frontline areas it is turned off. So yeah, there's already a priority for air defense too. Fatty McVlady said, I think it's just stupid. Israel launched the first attack, and as soon as they get hit, they start complaining and calling the other side Nazis. Hitting hospitals is a no-go either way, but again, you can expect that there's going to be return strikes also. Jack, you're about to be banned if you don't stop spamming. I give fair warning. Jack is gone. All right, goodbye, dickhead. Okay, Jack is gone. Let's have a look. This is more of the damage inside of that hospital. But as well, the optics for Iran are very, very bad hitting a hospital like this. This can easily bring in another country. Chris Elliott says 2 PLA, so People's Liberation Army, surveillance ships, so it'd be PLANF, PLAN, whatever it is, the People's Liberation Navy, ships of the Gulf. Thoughts, mate? I don't know. I know China has a lot of interest in around here, and of course a lot to do with their Belt and Road Initiative. Has big reliance on Iran also. Alex says, thank you for what you do. No worries at all, mate. PLAN. Yep, that's it. Was it a British carrier in the Suez? Yes. You can always tell British aircraft carriers because it's got 2 bridges. Or I'm guessing you call it a bridge. I don't know. Flowmaster said, anytime you're welcome to come visit WY. So was that Wyoming? Thank you, bro. As people say, yes, international or military law is very complicated. Yeah, absolutely. Outback Nichols says, send psychedelic shrooms operation Iron Hippie. Okay, Outback Nichols, I hope you're having a great day, mate. Thanks for the donation. Remember, guys, we're powering through, but I need to go see my oncologist in very soon. My appointment is this afternoon. That's all right, but it will take me some time just due to he's always running like an hour behind. Questoria, thanks for keeping us informed. Mate, no worries at all. Remember, if I'm not live or something happens, spam me in the Telegram and I'll become live as soon as I see it. So a house in Tel Aviv. So knowing Tel Aviv, real estate, rich house. There's a house on fire here from strikes, or at least maybe debris more so. I'd go turn my gas off if I were you, bro. If that's your house, go turn your gas bloody meter off. AP saying direct hit on hospital. Again, we don't know if he's direct. It sure looks like it, but we will wait and see. It doesn't. At the end of the day, that's just for information. It doesn't matter. You can't target it. And yeah, as soon as I come back from the hospital, if things are happening, from the hospital, from the oncology clinic, as soon as that is done, I can go live again as soon as I'm back if we need. Dare the Machine says, Willie, 15-minute ICBM incoming warning comes through. What's your plan? I'd like to think mine would be lawn chair on the front street and take in the view. Dare the Machine. Yeah, so if there's a 15-minute warning that nuclear weapons are coming, I know exactly where they're going to hit near me. I know they're going to hit at the submarines down near me. So, mate, I'm pretty the same. I'm going to go set up a lawn chair on the big bridge that looks over the submarine base, and I'm just going to watch them hit. I can't do anything. Underpass is not going to save you, brother. I'm going to go out like, what's the end of the James Bond movie where they all hit? That's how it'll look. Right. Sorry for the absolute last minute live stream, guys. We're only live for an hour. So the IRGC said the missile launched was a 2-stage solid fuel IRBM called Segil, which it definitely was because we saw this stage on the ground, okay? US waiting for strike till Nimitz arrives in AO, potentially. So the IRGC says it's not the newest missile in Iran's arsenal, but it's Iran's first solid-fueled medium-range ballistic. Warhead's 500 kilos. Gross weight is 23 tons. So what we did see, remember I showed you, I can't remember what page it was on, but we did see for the first time the size of this. This is one of the stages of one of those rockets that's completely massive. And it does seem that it is one of these IRBMs, which is different to what we've seen in the other day. So it does look like Iran may be firing more high-tech systems at Israel. Someone says 500, not that big. 500 kilogram warhead is massive. It's still a lot. 500 kilos is a lot. If that's the actual warhead size, remember, like a Fab 500, the whole thing is 500 kilograms. The warhead is more like 300, but still does a lot of damage. And things that Fabs don't have. Fabs, of course, have a fair bit of kinetic energy, but it's not coming at anywhere near the speed of something like this too. Yeah, so multiple videos of the Iranian ballistics too that have been hit. So yeah, definitely those, as far as I'm aware, those IRBMs that we haven't seen used so far. That's what it appears to be, at least. Yeah, so Tel Aviv and Beersheba got hit. Mr. Puffy, guys, I need to leave in a few minutes. So if you've got any questions or any donations, whatever you want to do, make them now. And then I've got to go to the oncology clinic. Mr. Willie, might be a dumb question, but the USA had troubles with taking out the Houthis with airstrike. I'm thinking why do they think airstrikes in Iran can win the war? They don't think it can win, but they think it can pull apart the ability to enrich uranium. But yes, I've had very similar concerns, Mr. Puffy. You are correct. And as I've said, strategic airstrikes will never completely dismantle an army. It can't happen like that. It's ground operations. But I think what they are saying is we can put enough pressure to dismantle nuclear enrichment and potentially have an internal overthrow of the regime there too. Guy's changed his name now to Willie. He's getting hidden on the channel too. Goodbye. That is just Jack back with a changed name. Scotty Griffin says, best of luck at your appointment, Willie. No, thank you, mate, very much. So, yeah, guys, I've got half an hour to my appointment, and it's half an hour to get, half an hour to the appointment, and it takes me half an hour to get there. So, guys, thank you for joining in on the very, very last stream. Not very last stream, the very last minute stream, I should say. Thank you for the super chats and the PayPals, as always. Thank you for the likes. And Alex Price, good luck, brother. All the luck to you. Thank you, Alex. Righto, guys. Thank you very much. If things start happening, I'll get back live. Okay.